ننتقل إلى ورشة التعليم. الأخت شيرين عبال.
Can I speak in English?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
فيك أن تتحدثي في الإنجليزية.
I'm going to just go in a row of the programs that they would like to implement. First, we have critical thinking programs, teacher support, financial support, structure of school system, an idea like Teach for America, Teach for Palestine, ICT development, student support, family support, civic training, after-school programs, and helping infrastructure of the school, and building also community centers around our schools. Let's say I'm going to also bring in how to actually bring our professions into the ground. We do this by one of the most important ways is exchange development. Our members decided that it was important to have partnership with schools from Palestine and outside regions. Developing these exchanges will actually help the students develop, the teachers develop, and the administration develop. They also want to have Teach for Palestine under this, so we can actually bring teachers who are already paid from outside to come and teach here for 2 years in schools that can be in refugee camps or in any schools, or in any schools that are under poverty line. They also really stressed on the ICT development because it would allow teachers and students to exchange information online, and teachers can have the ability to teach online classes. They would be able also to do joint master programs and scholarships.
What's the ICT?
The internet information technology, where they can actually post like online. There's a teacher, it'll teach a class all the way from all over the world.
Yes. بس نقطة واحدة نسيتها هي إنه كما إحنا هون حكينا عن كيف نيجي نعمل داخل فلسطين بالإدوكيشن يعني education in Palestine. كمان حكينا كيف إنه يعني راح نوصل مؤتمر بحيث إنه الشبكة تعالج قضية كيف الثقافة والتربية في دول العالم تتعامل مع فلسطين. ماذا يقال، ماذا يدرس لأبناء أوروبا وأبناء أمريكا عن فلسطين. الجهة الأخرى من الحلقة، وهي قضية كمان مفروض إنها تكون يعني من ضمن إمكانياتنا إنه نتعامل معها لأنها ضرورية جدا. كيف كتب التاريخ بتحكي عن فلسطين في أوروبا وإلى آخره. واصل غانم أستاذ في جامعة بير زيت بيشتغل مع وزارة التربية والتعليم العالي، ووظيفته بالأساس هي كيف تحسين وضع التدريس في المدارس الفلسطينية بشكل عام. كان موجود معنا
So as he joined us, there were just a couple of points I think is only fair to mention because he's so well informed from Palestine. He really thinks it's important to have a community center with activities that have civic training. He really stresses that we need to implement scholarship programs, and he really implements that we acquire 21st century skills. He says without these critical skills, we might lose our education system and find ourselves with no schools at all. Thank you.
I actually forgot one thing. It came up after the meeting. I met with Ghassan Al-Jamal. He actually works for the State Department, the U.S. State Department, and they have grants and loans and incentives for businesses to get businesses established here in Palestine. They offer the support, the guarantees, and money. If you decide you want to have an idea, you have business that provides jobs, provide infrastructure help, they can partner with you with U.S. money and some guarantees until you get on the ground, until you're comfortable doing the business on your own. So if you need more information about this, I believe he's still around here. If he's not, I think the idea was for me, everybody's going to send me an email, and we got like a project to provide to the network who we can work through this. So it's few contacts. So hopefully we get everybody's contacts by the end of the conference.
Thank you, Nassim. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. الورشة الثالثة اللو and order اللي هي الأمن والقانون. الدكتور هشام طلاوي.
First of all, I want to thank everyone who was involved in that, especially my partner Claudia. She has done a tremendous job in compiling the recommendations that we have came up with. The first recommendation, of course, we were asked to discuss law and order. And the first recommendation was that it's so important for Palestinian citizens to understand what it means to be a citizen and what is your duties and responsibilities, and also what are your rights under the law. Of course, in a democratic state, everyone is the same. No one is above the law. The second recommendation, which was it deals with the police and the, I guess it would be under the abuse section, which is to hold like some sensitivity training for the police to understand that this is a job what you have. It's not something that you can, it does not belong to you, and therefore, you know, some of the, and also we talked about like gender equality, which is something that our society, and in a democratic society, of course, it is definitely needed. And the third recommendation has to do with actually getting teams of different legal brains from around the world and from around the country to come up with, now in a democratic state, you need the laws to be also democratic. You know, we cannot use laws that were like 60 years old or laws that were made for Jordan or other countries. So therefore, with these things, it has to do with like commercial law, civil rights law, which is extremely important, property right law, land rights law, alternative disputes and resolutions, and also family law and immigration law. There's something that actually it's original, maybe it's not original, but it's unique, which is something that we came up with, that we really need something called the right of return law, just like Israel has the right of return, which anyone that become a Jew, if you convert, you know, to Judaism, you will have, under that law, you will go under that right of return. So we do need something along those lines, where the right of return for all Palestinians, regardless of where they are from. And under that section, actually, we have came up with a few recommendations that identifying Palestinians from all over the world through census, issue honorary citizenship to all Palestinians out there, and facilitate a process of maintaining, preserving, and obtaining Palestinians' ID cards as permitted under the law. Something else that we've talked about, which is the abuse of power. Like if you are in a governmental official, doesn't matter how small or how big it is, there should be limitations, and you should know what your limitations are. If you are a police officer, you should know what your limitation stops. And if you are an intelligence officer, for instance, you should know what your limitations are. You cannot be the police officer, the judge, and the prosecutor, and everything else, which is something that unfortunately is probably the prevailing mood here in Palestine. Thank you.